Yeah, so now we're going to be kicking start. Last week we discussed on Egypt, Philippines, United Kingdom, and Nigeria. If at any point during the meeting you have any question on that, please feel free to also drop your chats as well. So with that, Pray, are you ready? Are you ready, sir? Are you ready for us?
Yes, Captain Falabi. Thank you very much for the opportunity and to be here. Mostly, I would like to begin to say I'm Christopher. There's no big deal in Australia. It's very, very easy, very, very simple. They just need you to come. They need you to come in, and mostly the environment is nice, conducive, and it's one of the best university in the world, maybe first 10 in the world after UK. I think Australia is nice. I think if you have the minimum criteria in deck washkeeping, you can be able to apply. It's a very simple process, but the application method is by sending it via maybe Korea. You send it via Korea, they'll rectify it. After rectification, they will now tell you it takes about 3 weeks or a month sometimes for them to get back to you. After that process, then the normal university level, you have to apply to University of Tasmania. After the application, it starts the normal duration of 1 year. Well, let me just put it 2 semesters, 4 months. Let me just put it in a year. Then with simulator classes, that is it. Then for the oral preparation class, we normally in Australia, they have less time for oral preparation class. And I think what Captain Afolabi and Tayo are doing is the best, because they concentrate normally on the academic level. So they feel that the captains there feel that they just have to give you limited opportunity to study for the oral preparation. Although people pass, but slim, you have to work hard, you have to study, you have to do a lot of hard work to study. But they are normally in Australia, they have checklists for the oral preparation. They have checklists for chief mates, they have checklists for master, they have checklists for OW as per their department. And the checklist for let me put it, I have chief mate license, I will go for what I have. The checklist for chief mate normally based on management. It has to go on ship management, rules of the road, navigation, bridge equipment, knowing the bridge equipment, and standard of washkeeping, and so on and so forth, things like that. But normally, they will not ask you what is. They will put you into situation. They'll put you into situation because they don't believe in asking what is based on what I experienced in Nigeria and OW, what is. They don't believe in that. They'll ask you based on situation. They'll put you as achievement. What do you understand? What's like when preparing for oral preparation, you have to ask yourself what is. You have to understand, you have to put yourself in the situation. You understand? And Australian COC is based on marine orders, because the marine orders, the Australia have different marine orders, and they have up to 100 and up to 200 marine orders, and the marine orders are normally rectified by the Navigational Act. The Navigational Act is the law of the land. I don't know whether you can hear me, if I'm clear.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, Australian COC or most of their COC are based on their navigation orders. And the marine order, not navigational order, the marine orders, because you cannot get all those 200 marine orders. There are so many. There are so many and vast. Cargo operations, which is very vital for chief mates, cargo operation and stability. And the marine order for cargo operation are like, for example, we have marine order 32, marine order 33, marine orders 44, marine order 45, marine order 46. Then you also have some important marine orders 90, 91. Those are for MAPO, marine pollution. But let me put it this way: marine order 32 is for cargo handling and equipment, and it has to do with the law of the land, how they're operating there in Australia. Then marine order 33 has to do with grain, and like I said, the Australian.
Separate.
Yeah.
So I also want us to miss the juicy parts. Thanks for bringing all this in, and it's very lovely for us to know how the syllabus works as well. Can you just walk us through how do you apply for the OW? So how many CTAM are we looking at? If it's in Nigeria, it's a different CTAM, and Philippines is different. So if someone wants to do, like for instance, an OW in Australia, what's the CTAM it will be required? And if does it require any degree? If it requires a degree, what degree is it, or what's the process?
Okay. Well, as for me, I think the minimum seat time is 12 months for any vessel for chief mates unlimited, for a vessel more than 500 gross tonnage and above. Then that's it. 12
Is that
months
for
and
Chief
above.
Mate Unlimited or for OW? Sorry, just wanted to know.
Okay, for OW, I think it's 18 months. 18 months. But I applied as a chief mate, so I did mine. Mine was 12 months and above. 12 months and above.
Okay,
So
so 18 months. Does the person need like a pre-nautical training before coming, or like a degree in Australia Maritime?
Yeah,
Or something?
for OW, the guy has to start from afresh. He has to start from year one. He cannot just jump just like that, because there are some credits. While I applied, they waive out so many things for me in the university, because I already have an HND. But as an OW, you have to start all over again from year one.
So when you mean start all over, are we doing a BSc before we do an OW COC? Or
no, you're not doing a BSc. They won't give you BSc. They'll give you diploma for.
Okay. Okay. So you do a diploma. How long is this diploma?
It's 2 years. It's 2 years.
Okay. So the diploma runs with the OW, or how did they do the applicated training?
We have pre-C. The cadets training, they have pre-C training for the cadets, and that one is you do it 1 year before you start the diploma course. You understand? So you do it pre-C training for the cadets. They'll do it for 1 year. After that, they will now enroll for the diploma course in nautical science or engine. After that, they will finish it for 2 years, and they have the opportunity to join for chief mate and master class without going to sea. You can just continue it like that to make it a BSc. It's at your own reach. I don't know whether you understand me. Like after the national diploma for the OW, you have the option. You have the option to go to the next year. If you go to the next year, they will give you BSc, meaning that you are done with chief mate and master. You don't have to go again for chief mate and master. But that does not give you the chief mate certificate or the master certificate. It only gives you the BSc. I don't know that you understand me.
Yeah.
It only gives you the BSc, but you are done with class. Let me just put it that way. You are done with class. So you just need the required seat time for your chief mate, you just need the required seat time for your master. That's
Okay.
how it goes.
So when you have that required sit time, you don't come back for any orals, or at least you come back for 1 or 2 orals also.
The seat time you're talking about, is it for second
No,
mate or for chief
I
mate?
mean, for instance, I finished the 1 year pre-seed, I finished the OND, and then the person continues to the BSc. So after I continue, so I'm sure I'm finished with all the academics. After my 12-month sit time at sea to come back for my chief mate, I will not need to go to any class, correct?
Yeah, you don't need to go to any
But
class. You are done
am
with
I going to
class.
prepare
That's
for
the
any
best.
orals, or is just automatic?
You you prepare for orals on your own. The school does not give you orals class, like, because the oral class is just like I said earlier. The oral class is being done maybe once, like towards the ending of the semester.
Okay.
Towards the ending of the semester, it's just limited. Let me just put it that way. So you
Okay.
have to prepare on your own with your colleagues. Yeah.
Okay. So after the OW, how many months for chief mate? You said 12 months, but
Yeah, mine I apply for 12 months. Yeah.
which 12 months? I mean, is it 12 months sit down that we need with our OW unlimited? I just want to clarify.
With Nigeria own,
Okay, yeah, with
with Nigeria
Nigeria
own,
OW.
they require with Nigeria OW, they requires a lot, like, because Nigeria does not have MOU with Australia, and they require thorough investigation of, for example, the OW, where you do your sit time, you understand? Then not only that, each of your degree, they have to ask, for example, your OND, they require your transcripts, something like that. OND and HND, they require your transcripts. Then they require the school to send them an email for verification. Each of your short course, maybe your basic mandatory, your advanced courses, the school that you did these courses has to send AMSA an email for verification. If that is done, then they will just waive it out and give you the QSS. QSS is just like it's just like what eligibility letter in Nigeria. So in Australia they call it QSS,
Okay.
qualifying seat time, qualifying seat service.
Uh,
QSS, qualifying seat service.
so that's with your 12 months service as an officer of the watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after the after your chief mate now, how many months service are you going to be having to get the master's class for?
I think it depends. You know, it's the same 12 months. You don't need 12 months for chief mates, and maybe for second mates 24 months, something like that.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Then revalidation, how do we go about it?
Revalidation is easy, and we have AMSA 419 form. There's a form called AMSA 419, and that form you have to download it from AMSA website. You fill it, then you pay the required money, and you send it to AMSA. They will now revalidate it for you.
Okay.
But if your course have expired, I think you have to go back to Australia to do those basic courses, or UK to do those basic courses.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, last question I'll just ask. Basic courses. I hear people who do their CLC in Australia have to still go down to Australia to do all their mandatories. They don't collect mandatories from any other place.
No, they don't collect mandatory from any other place. They collect their own. Even the how would I put it? The medical, just like in
Yeah,
Nigeria, you have this
medical.
Nemasa medical.
Yeah.
They don't collect in any other place. You must do it in Australia. It's a must. You
Wow,
must do it in Australia.
that was interesting. That's interesting. Thanks very much. But I hope it wasn't too hot. I hear stories Australia is really hot there.
In Australia,
Yeah.
this winter time now. It's not this it's cold. It's cold this winter time in Australia.
Oh, okay. No, it's now open to the house. Just few questions. If you have any few questions anyone want to ask, starting with Captain Tayo. If
Yes,
you have,
so
you can just
my,
press the reaction button and raise your hand. Let's see.
my question is, how far is Australia from Nigeria, actually, if you're flying, you know? Because I think it's going to be like 14 hours flight, right? Hello. Hi, Pray.
Hello, Pray, can you hear us? I think it's his network here.
Yeah, so actually, well, that was a cheeky question to find out.
Captain Tayo, good evening.
Yeah.
You have to wait. Maybe if you're using Qatar Airlines, that flight down to Sydney.
Oh,
You understand, Melbourne. So it takes 2 days to 3 days.
2 days to 3
It's
days.
very
All right. Okay, that's fine. So are you saying that it's a possibility for someone to have a Nigerian OOW and come to Australia for either a chief mate or a second engineer license? Is easier?
It's very, very possible. They're looking when I finished my my chief mate license, they were asking me, the director Maritime, the Maritime study, something like that, called me to his office and told me if we have more Nigerians that are coming. I told him yes, like I knew about 2. That is okay. They are looking for people actually. They need people. You know, they're looking for people. Although they don't have MOU with Nigeria, that one is for sure. But
so the process is okay. So the process can be a little bit windy, but it's possible.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, that's fine. If you don't mind, just on the group, if you're in any of our groups, can you please drop I know you said the AMSA 419 or, you know, the form that people can read again to know how to apply and what steps to apply. You can drop that in the group. Thanks. That's my own question. Anyway, any other person with the next question, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think Officer Obi wanted to ask a question. Yeah, Abiola, go ahead. You're on mute. Abiola, you're on mute.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yeah, louder.
Yeah, please. I wanted to know, is it possible for one to apply if you're having a Ghana Class 2 in Australia for your chief or for your master? Is it possible? That is my question. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I will rephrase your question, Pray. If what I understand is, if you already have a Class 2, either chief mate or second engineer license, and is it possible to switch from that to a Class 1 in Australia?
Pray, can you help us there?
Yeah, I think its network is also
fluctuating somehow.
I don't have the right answer to that, but I'm looking at it from an
Edu Young. Sorry, Edu Young is also here. Edu Young is also an Australian CSC holder. Yeah, Edu Young, please go ahead, please. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very possible to do your chief engineer Class 1 in Australia. But as you know, just like the UK, they have stringent requirements. Same thing with Australia. You just need to, once they accept you, you will need to sit for the class all over again. It's not like, for example, someone that had his chief mate unlimited. Like in Australia, they call it chief mate master. you did your chief master or chief engineer, second engineer, chief engineer license, a class, you attend the class and they award you second engineer. So in that case, if you're going for a class one, if you're going for a class one chief engineer, it's noisy. If you're going for class one chief engineer, in that case, you don't need to attend any classes. But for someone coming from Ghana, UK, Poland, wherever you have your license, as you're coming for a class one, whether be it master, as you're coming for a class one in Australia, you must attend the compulsory 1 full year class.
Okay. Thanks. So that full 1 year, you also have to do the exams of OOW and then the class 2 before you get to the class 1, correct? Or it's just classes?
No, you attend the class, then before you go for orals to have your class 1 master.
Okay.
Or class 1 chief engineer. So you're coming from Ghana with your second engineer license, you attend the normal class, then you pass the exams, you will not be eligible for orals. And once you pass the orals, you'll not be given your class 1 chief engineer. And I think you'll be added, I think for someone coming from Ghana, they will be awarded BSc because AMC award BSc. As you're finishing, you're having your BSc automatically. Not like the UK, where when you're done, they award you HNC. It's not like that in Australia. Australia, as you're done, you have been awarded with a bachelor and BSc applied science. So that's what you get in addition to your COC class 1. So I think that's the only advantage AMC is Australia Maritime College. I think that's the only advantage AMC have over the UK. The UK is the best.
We are not going to go into who is the best or this thing, because I myself I envy Australian people a lot. Can we get a contact link to AMC? Yes, Edion, please, if you can just do us that favor, please, if you can just drop it on our chat, a contact links to AMC, because I think 2 years ago I was trying to help someone in processing admission to AMC and it was really tough. So if you can help us with that as well. The HNC in UK is for OOW. Once you are doing your chief mates, it's HND. But if you are going through the foundational route, then you have a BSc as well. But also, once you have your class 1, like we said last week, is equivalent to a master's degree, which even I myself, I used the class 1 in getting a master's degree admission in United Kingdom. Since Nigeria has no MOU with Australia, is it possible to get the master endorsement? Yes, it's possible to get the master endorsement with Australia certificate. There are only some countries which is in the group as well. There are some countries which Nigeria will not issue their own endorsement. So it's open except to just some countries. With that, thank you very much, Edion. Thank you very much, Pray. Really appreciate
Australia people voice.
Talk to voice.
Two of them talk. I can't even see the difference. Money good. Wow. Okay, thanks.
With that, we will go to office. The book checklist is a long thing. I tried to apply, but I gave up a bit. Don't worry, just keep applying. This group is not for those that give up. Go back again and keep pushing. And God bless you. And let's go over to Officer Pukola. Good evening, sir. Wherever you are from, can you just unmute yourself and let's know you?
Yeah. Good evening, House. Good evening, Captain Bisaya.
Yeah, good
everyone.
evening, sir. Just give us a brief about yourself and help us come to Ghana, how we can get our COC from OW to class one.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Okibukola Israel. I am an engineer. I did my class 3 and class 2 in Ghana. And I think that's a brief one I can say. So I'll try to put us through the applications in Ghana. I will try to start from people, but I've observed that majority of the people that are here they are true officers' routes. But I will try to start from the ratings aspect in case for recording purpose, so that everybody can benefit from it. So in Ghana, they have this marine mech for engineers. I'll be talking exclusively about the engineers. So for you, if you are starting from as a starter, you can go through these routes. You do marine mech in school. That course is for 6 months. Then after, you're expected to have a sea time of 12 months. Afterwards, you do watchkeeping. Watchkeeping is about a week. Then you can now go back for another sea time of 12 months. Then you can come for class 3 limited. Class 3 limited, the limitation to class 3 limited is not in the aspect of wage, but in the aspect of the kilowatt, the capacity of the engine at which you can work. So the limitation is the limitation awarded that we awarded will be third engineer less than 3,000 kilowatts. That means you'll be a third engineer on vessels less than 3,000 kilowatts. Then after this, you are required to go for another 12 months sea time before you can come back to school again for class 3 unlimited. So now you are third engineer, but now you have no limitation as per kilowatts of the class of vessel that you can work. Then afterwards, you now have 18 months sea time before you can do class 2 unlimited, which is regulation 3.2. Then after, you can do 18 months sea time, and you can now have your class 1 unlimited. The classes I've mentioned, I think I've skipped some things, which is class 3 limited. Initially used to be a year, but I confirmed from someone in school last week, it's 6 months now for people that have no long sea time. Then for class 3 unlimited, if I'll go through cadet routes, okay, let me go through cadet routes now. So let's say, for example, you finish from Maritime Academy or finish from Oceanography, you have ND. If you have national diploma, and after your 12 months seat time, you cannot do unlimited in Ghana. It is limited that you'll be offered. I think that is where the merit comes in. Because for me, I would say, for anybody that wants to go very fast in the route, it's better you try and do unlimited OW, unlimited in Nigeria. Then you can go for your class 2 in Ghana. You have unlimited. Rather than going through with ND, they will not give you unlimited. You do ND limited, go back to sea for 12 months, come back again as a third engineer twice. I don't think it doesn't make much sense. So, but however, I'll still say it the way it is. If you have ND, with your 12 months, you'll be doing 1 year or 6 months, depending on what they are saying. Initially, it used to be 1 year, but as at the last month, it became 6 months. So, after the limited, you have 12 months. You go back again to class for 1 year. The first year will be academic. 1 year is of 2 semesters. The first semester is purely academic. You'll be doing thermodynamics, mathematics, chemistry. If I can remember, you do thermodynamics, you do mechanics, you're going to do material science, you're going to do ship construction. Some of this basically academics. Then part B, which is the second semester, is purely engineering knowledge. So which will be EK generals, EK motors, and your orals. Then after that, for the cadet route, but if you have HND, or degree. With your after your PC, you have your 12 months. You go straight for unlimited class. As at last year, they used to give exemption for HNDs, but as at now, what the information we are receiving now is they don't give the exemption any longer. The reason best known to them, I have not been able to investigate that to give the right answer to that. But now, even if you have HND, they still give you 1 year. So you have 1 year, first part A, which is academics, part B, which is the e-case. So with degree, you have exemption. With HND now, no exemption, even if you have done thermodynamics and the rest. So now you do your unlimited class. After that, you go for 18 months seat time for class 2 again, then 18 months for class 1. If I will run through, Abiola, in case I'm missing anything, I will let you know when to come in. Then also in the application process, for the application process, it's not as easy like the Australian counterpart I've said. This one is you have to go to Ghana or you have somebody to go and apply for you. You need to go to the Regional Maritime University, go to the registry and indicate the class at which you want to go for, whether OW, second engineers or chief engineer. Then they will give you a letter, a note that you take to GMA, Ghana Maritime Authority in Tema. Please take note in Tema, not in Accra. In Tema, Tema is where the exams unit is. So you go to Tema, make your application. So the application now, we normally call it in Nigeria eligibility, but Ghana will call it confirmation of sea service. So this normally, when you make the payment, the application normally takes 21 days if all things are okay. However, I will also say this, from my own experience so far with Ghana, it's better whenever you are disembarking from any vessel, make sure you take your sea service testimonial from the ship and ensure that there is an email that can be verified, an email that can verify that you actually serve, because emails will be sent to verify if you actually serve on board. So these are the things that makes the eligibility process runs longer, more than 21 days. Normally, within 21 days, you should have it if everything is okay. But if you don't have all this, you might be there 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, and yet you don't have it. So after this, once you have it, once the academic section is resuming, you take your confirmation of sea service to school, you register, and then you can start the class. Then after the class, you pay your school fees. It's another thing is mandatory certificate for you to get your license has to be issued from regional maritime university. Anywhere you are bringing it from, it has to be issued by them. If not, you will not be able to get your COC. So I always advise people that want to go to Ghana, if you know you are going to Ghana, anytime any of your mandatory certificate expires, for me, it's advisable you go there and do it gradually instead of doing about 12, 15 courses at a go. It will be kind of cumbersome. So then also, normally exams, after your exams, 2 weeks after exams, you do your orals. Then 2 weeks after your orals, a month after orals, results should be out. Once the result is out and you scale through, in 21 days rather, your license should be ready. I think if there's any question, then after class 1, you like UK, you don't have MSc. Class 1, you can now apply for MSc in RMU for port and shipping, whether class 1 deck or class 1 engine, unlimited. Thank you. That's my submission. If there's any question.
Thank you very much. That was really very nice. I have a question as well, but I'll first like the house if you have any question. But before we go, what's the process of revalidation? How do we go about it?
Okay. Revalidation, it's almost same procedure as the application itself. Once the 5 year has reached, you need to go back to Ghana. Like I said, all mandatories have to be issued by Ghana Regional Maritime University. So you go back to the school, renew the ones that you need to renew. Then you go back to GMA, Ghana Maritime Authority, submit the applications. If normally the exams always finish around July, August. So August, September is rush hour. You might have that 21 working days to complete. But if it's not within the rush hour, you can get the license back in a week or maybe 2 weeks.
All right. Thank you very much. That was really good. Thanks a lot. Does anybody have any questions to ask?
Sorry, Captain. Sorry.
Yeah.
If Abiola will chip in anything, since he's also from Ghana.
Okay.
Wants to
Abiola, the floor is yours, sir.
But you're on mute, sir.
You're on mute, sir.
Okay, so in addition to what he said, actually he has clarified for any class he was going for before they would issue eligibility, both deck and engine, your gross tonnage and your engine kilowatt is always considered. So you might apply for unlimited engine. If your engine kilowatt is less than 3,000 kilowatts, you will be issued limited in whichever category, maybe class 3, class 2, or class 1. My message again, you can apply for unlimited, and if you don't meet the requirement of serving on board a vessel that has an engine above 3,000 kilowatts, on a foreign going vessel or an offshore vessel, you might not be issued unlimited. You might not meet the criteria for unlimited.
Okay,
so that's just my idea.
So we have cases of different vessels in 18 months. How do we deal with that if some is below the required? We have a mixture.
Yes, they just need you to have served on board those vessels for 6 months. Minimum.
6 months.
Minimum of 6 months. You can have a mixture of details. Yes. So they will tell you, they might issue you an eligibility if you insist, but they will tell you your license will not be issued until you go on board a vessel that is above 3,000 gross tonnage or 3,000 kilowatts, foreign going vessel or offshore. So that is just my addition.
All right. I have my question is this: what about renewal? So if already you have an unlimited license and you now go on a vessel less than 3,000 or less than 3,000 kilowatt or whatever it is, and you want to renew, do they renew unlimited for you or they downgrade it?
They'll renew the license you have initially. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, you're going for renewal, so your service is not considered for renewal, except for maybe for just checking sake that you're still active as a seafarer. Not required for consideration or for engine kilowatt, or you've served already and you're using your license to work and you're an active seafarer. So your license will be renewed no matter what. But for you to pick for that class, at that particular point in time, you have to meet up this criteria before the sea service can be issued for you for unlimited.
All right, thank you. The reason I asked is, for example, in England, if you're in the UK, if you have an endorsement, say tanker endorsement or gas tanker endorsement, and you don't use it in 5 years, or you don't have as much as 12 months in 5 years or something, they will remove that endorsement in your next renewal. That's why I asked how that works in Ghana. Thanks for that anyway. Thank you.
Okay, I have Prince. Prince, you want to go ahead? You can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to ask Mr. Abiola concerning about class 3 deck. Do you have any idea how much it costs?
How much?
Did he say how much?
Yes, sir.
See us at the end of the session. Your tithe and offering. Bring tithe and offering first.
I think for how much it's going to be, changes, and we don't want to go into how much now because Mr. Biola, as much as he can even give us approximate amounts, it will still change tomorrow and stuff like that. But as long as we have the procedure as well, we can always still reach out to the school as well. But the major thing is for us to have the procedure. So for amounts, we don't want to start, changing VPS right now.
Okay, that's welcome. That's welcome.
Officer Ishaya. Yeah, please come unmute yourself. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, good evening, all officers. I have this question for him, please. Someone just let me understand that in Ghana, it's possible for you to like convert your Nigerian COC, that's Nemasa, to Ghana license, same grade, either OW or chief mate or master. So I don't know if he can throw more light on that. Someone just let me know that it's possible.
All right, thanks.
I don't know how true is that.
Oh, okay. Also, Biola or
conversion of license.
Yeah.
Well, conversion of license is not possible except you are going to get an endorsement. If it is conversion of license, no, you need to go to the class for an upgrade, not conversion.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is this certificate of equivalence or endorsement.
Yeah.
I don't think you can convert your license.
Because what I'm asking is that he sent mail to Ghana Maritime Authority. They replied him back that it was possible because he showed me the mail that they replied him. They told him that the only thing that he needed to do was to only send his scanned copies of document that they will verify. After verify, they will organize an oral interview for him. Then they will notify him. After the oral interview, if he passed,
yeah. All right.
If he passed, then they will tell him the amount he's going to pay. Then they will issue him same OW certificate but Ghana license.
Okay, please let me come in. Let me here. Let me keep in a situation that happened while I was in Ghana 2017. We had a case like this. People have been defrauded, and we have to be very careful while we are dealing with the GMA. The GMA has an office, you have a mail, you have numbers you can call. GMA will never make a conversion of license from Nigeria to Ghana, even from any country. Fine, it can issue a certificate of equivalence or certificate of endorsement. That is possible, not doubtable. But conversion of license will never happen between Nigerian license and Ghana license because Nigerian license, the only recognizable Nigerian license with GMA is OW Unlimited. The only license you can use to apply for an upgrade is OOW Unlimited. So please, you have to be careful. If you're dealing with the GMA, you have to call the GMA directly or send them an email or go to Ghana yourself and make yourself fair. So on that, I think there was a case of people that were defrauded in 2017. Somebody organized oral class for them, and it was on the oral day that they were busted. So please, you have to be careful. Go through the right channels to pursue your program. So that is the only thing I can say. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, boss. I totally agree. But it's something because I don't think it's something any country would just want to do a conversion like that, especially with Ghana, as much as I heard. But just one question, Abiola and Officer Bukola. So we have some people who did not go to Maritime Academy of Nigeria. And the instance I have here is there's a school in Port Harcourt. I've forgotten the university in Rivers State there. I'm going to remember. But yeah, he did mechanical engineering, and then he went now 1 year the other started off also with his CETA. But now he's going for his class 2. He has OOW Unlimited. Is there any way he can be exempted from some of the courses, or he's going to do the whole full course?
Well, the certificate that was actually recognized from Nigeria was from Maritime Academy of Nigeria and Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology, Oceanography. And HND Maritime Academy of Nigeria was actually exempted for engineers until last year. So the River State University of Science and Technology, I think is the school you're talking about. Their certificate is not recognized by the Ghana Maritime Authority because I think they don't see them as a maritime college. So it's a universal or it's a conventional university. So they're having issues with verification and all these things. So they don't want to issue an exemption for students from this institution. But until last year, HND Marine Engineering was issued exemption. But now we are having information that they are stopped for both deck and engine. Now we have to run the 2 semesters. But some of the HODs of the department, because in the past few years, they checked the results and the performance of the Maritime Academy of Nigeria students. They see that the students of these institutions have performed very well, and they've gone through most of the courses they are taking them for in the first year, which is academic courses in engineering. So they are trying to write to GMA and have a meeting with GMA to continue the exemption. So that is all we have for now from Ghana.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was really well detailed. If anyone still has any question, yeah, I think there are some questions still dropping in. I'm just gonna check it out. Yeah. I think there was someone asking, okay, yeah, with an HND in nautical science, can I get a BSc in Ghana during my chief mate, or I need like 1 year more in another class?
Yeah, the answer to that I saw from Officer Kebukola is I said no, you won't be issued a degree if you have a HND nautical science.
Yeah, that's sorted out. And no more questions coming in. All right, with that, please, I would like to welcome Chief Engineer Niyi to the house. It's someone also is my boss, my own personal boss. I say three bosses. You're welcome, sir. The floor is yours. If you can just please unmute yourself and give us a little brief about yourself and help us how we work ourselves from OOW to Class 1 in United Kingdom.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, boss. Boss of the boss.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the privilege. Though in the past 5 years, things have changed concerning the UK COC, which some of us are all aware of. And though I might want to bring up to speed, but I need some guys also to clarify some issues then in which some of the upcoming engineers now are also having challenges. Right in the past, with your OOW, you could get your eligibility for a Class 2 in UK without doing any of the prerequisite academic courses. Your NOU will be given to you straight, notice of eligibility. But there's a conflicting issues among students now who applied from 2020 or 2019 upwards. Some are giving NOE, some are not giving NOE. They will expect them to finish all the requirements, both the academic Part A, Part B, and which is quite unusual, and there are no reasons behind it. But most of the excuses being given are because of the backlog of COVID. There are a lot of people, so they're just finding ways to There is no MDN notice to Marina. I don't know whether the deck guys are aware of that. Any notice it's regarding this new route in which you have to get all the requirements, both the mandatories and the academics done before you can now get your NOE. Captain Afolabi, I don't know you are aware of that.
Yeah. If I want to come in there, I think that kind of started around 2018 as well. And I didn't know how it applied to the engine side, but from the deck side now, what they want you to do is now they want you to clear your SQA. They want you to clear either if you are coming for a chief mate, I mean that's from the class 3 to class 2. So that means you are coming for a class 2 deck. That means they want you to clear your HND as well and your SQA and do the courses which are your narrowest and other advanced mandatory course. Before now, they will issue you with an NOE. So what they issue now is not the NOE. What they issue now is a letter for either South Shields or any other nautical school in the United Kingdom to admit you, take you through the parts, you pass, and then now the NOE is for orals. So that's what I know they've been doing now for the deck side. I think from what you're saying, it is also applicable to the engine side as well.
Okay, then thank you for the clarity. So as we all know, the best route, apart from people that trained and started their OW from their HNC or HND, most people go through the OW Nigeria Unlimited and apply for their eligibility. But the good news for the engineers now is, which has been a major bottleneck, is the academics, whereby you do it at class 2 level, and when you are going for your chiefs again, you do it at chiefs level. So, and that has been a challenge whereby people finish their class 2, they find it difficult to go back because they have to go through electrotech, NAVAC, electric, all those rigorous courses all over again. But at least from 2016, I think it's 2017 or 2016, they started that, whereby depending on your CTEM, there are different routes in which all the academics are now part A, so they are not class 1. So there's nothing like academics for class 2. You sit for it, you must pass the academics once and for all. So I think over there, we are now privileged to join the deck guys also, whereby after your class 2, your second engineer, the good news is you can only come for your orals, depending on the seat time you have. So I think it's making life a little bit more easy and the young engineers can smile. So apart from the financial application, I still think all COCs are okay. There's no discrimination. All what we want is get a good value for our investment. So the two approach you can do, it's not advisable to leave the work and go and sit down in school like before now. You can take advantage of the distance learning, in which at least South Shield is good with that. With their distance learning, you could do some of the courses by distance learning in the comfort of your ship, provided you don't have so many breakdowns, or during your watch, if you are just engineering watchkeepers. So that saves you some finances rather than leaving your job and sitting down, leaving a lucrative job and sitting down in the school. You could apply the long distance learning, and there are resources at your disposal also in which the schools could help you. Finish the assessments, then you have your class attendance certificates. Among the days, we have in March, July, September, October, and November, four times in a year for the exams. So you could pick one of those years to sit for your exams. And in short, apart from that, the only challenge you might have is your visa process, which is getting more rigorous. So it's about planning ahead so that you have more days, so that you have more time and you can relate it with your time off when you be available to go and sit for your exams. And apart from that, going through your OW, it's advisable to have your OW unlimited in Nigeria. Then go for the class two one. It's combined now, so you can decide to do your oral second engineer. 6 months, you'll be back for your chief orals, which makes life much easier. There's a chart also concerning the different routes in which you can take, which I might just put on the chat group if it's allowed it, or on the COC preparatory WhatsApp group.
Please, sir, you can put that.
Okay. So apart from that, the challenges, you don't have any challenges. All details for applications, the addresses are there and they are so straightforward. The other challenge you might have again is payment, which you can't use your MasterCard for only $100 in Nigeria per month now. So with the help of your bank, you can make some payments or get a DOM account with a dollar MasterCard, or have correspondence like Captain Tayo and Captain Afolabi, who could help in getting some payment across. But apart from that, it's, as I always say to everybody in any COC exam, it's achievable, but challenging. That is just it.
Thank you.
So that's all I have to say, in case of any question.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This thing reminds me of Rule 6. I think it's Rule 6C. When you're talking about safe speed, and one of the conditions is the characteristics, efficiency, and limitation of the radar equipment. So I always think that all human beings also have characteristics, efficiency, and limitation. And our limitation is the fact that we don't know everything. So gatherings like this, village meetings like this, is where we get everybody to come and say, add salt and pepper so that the soup will be very sweet. Sure, you understand? So I've always been thinking about the engineers, because I love engineers so much, What's the sit-down requirements, for example, in the UK, sir? Do you have to be on a particular size of ship to get an unlimited license?
No, UK is more concerned about your kilowatts. Okay. And with the emergence of all the new ASD talks with strong bollard puts, you could be surprised that you could get an unlimited UK ticket even while you are on talk, because they, as long as the talks are greater than 3,000 kilowatts, which I don't think will be, so don't limit yourself. Whether you're on less than 500 gross tonnage torque, which will be a restriction for the deck, but I don't think it will limit you as an engineer, because I know most of those two combined engines, mostly Caterpillar engines, are greater than 3,000 kilowatts. 3,000. But the only challenge you have is you have to expand your horizons. There are informations around, there are colleagues around who could enlighten you also, because there are questions which are general questions which cross all classes of ships. You must be aware of it. You can't limit yourself and tell the examiner, because we had a funny encounter then where somebody wanted the examiner to limit him to his own class of ships, which is not possible sometimes. So the major thing about your CTM is just get your documentation should be spot on, which is a challenge of engineers. Because documentation actually saves you a lot of problems. You might be in class and you're worried calling somebody at sea to send you some documents. So I think one of the things, if you really want to be there, it's to opt up your paperwork. You can't hide from it. Get it tidy up. Don't wait for the captain to remind you. Learn to do your own paperwork now. You need to ask them your sea service testimonial, ask the chief engineer, your sea service testimonial, get it well. Just make sure what is on your discharge book is the same thing that is on your sea service testimonial. Because I'm sorry to say, by the time you carry the green passports and you're applying from Nigeria, there is always that factor of looking out for any inconsistency in your COC, in your documentation. So right from till you leave the sea, just let your document, even it affects visa application also, let your documentation, your paperwork be spot on. And keep a copy of your visa application, even though you thought you've finished with UK, you are through with them. Something will always bring you back, and they will ask you, what did you do the other time?
True. What, so I would think that the renewal will almost be the same with DEC. So that means you get your, of course, let me say this again, as you said it, everybody listening, even, I don't know, whatever license, your C-service testimonial, I see a lot of people don't even remember. It is very, very important. In the UK, it's more important than anything else, actually, than your letter from your company. C-service testimonial does it. So is it a renewal? Is the same period? But do you have to do all your mandatories in the UK to renew, or do you accept mandatories in other countries? I know they accept for some, maybe South Africa or something like that.
Yeah, South Africa is on the list, and some other countries, there's an MDN notice regarding to that with the new format of the COC, which looks like an ID card. Yeah, so with those, yeah, something like that. So rightly, they accept some certificate from South Africa, some from India. There are some institutions in India. Yeah, to save costs, it might be good, but with the new travel restriction, just plan yourself, and it's much cheaper now once you're doing refreshers. It's more even cheaper in the UK than in some other parts of the world that they accept their certificate. So even when you're doing your renewal, you don't need to come over as long as your certificates are updated or they are still within validity period. You can check your class in which you belong to. I think people with the issuing the first COC, they need to send the original documents. Then people for renewal, they can send what do you call it?
Scan copies, well, yeah, I think scan copies that it should be maybe Notary Republic, just to show that it's authentic.
Yeah, authentic.
Yeah, so and those are another one, sorry to cut you, is that if you're on a ship and you get stamped by the ship captain or your documents, that might also work instead of a Notary Public.
Okay. I will share the MDN also in the COC books for people doing renewal. You could see and prepare yourself accordingly.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. That was impactful. I think the time is really gone now. It really has a lovely one. I'm tempted to do a village meeting 3 because our Ukraine would love to hear how they do it also in Ukraine as well. But does anybody have any question as regards to the UK? But let's state it out here that what Engineer Nee just described was for the engineering class, was for the engineering COC, was for engineering COC. The DEC is what we discussed last week, which is quite similar, but also has some differences. So what's the sit-down requirements from class 3 to class 2 for engineers that want to go to UK? Engineer Nee, for engineers, the sit-down. Is Engineer Nee there?
You're mute, boss. But again, okay. There's a question for you, sir.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, sorry. So what's if you're coming from Nigeria with class 3 to UK for your class 2, what's the minimum sit-down requirement?
The minimum is still the 12 months sit-down requirement. Then if you have more experience, maybe some OW have been promoted to second engineer and have stayed long in a rank, then you could also be eligible to sit for your chief orals.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you could also be eligible to sit for your chief orals. I'm trying to open the new MCA guideline for engineering routes. Because during our time, you have to get your 12-month first, go for your class 2, work again for 12 months before you go for your chief engineer. But it has changed now with right from OW, it could take you less than, with 18 months, a 36-month sit-in, you could get to do your chief orals and get your chief ticket. So moving from OW, I said it's 12 months. That is the basic requirement. Since you are coming from outside routes and we are not their HNC candidates or HND candidates or BSc candidates.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much. Is there any other question in the house there for Australia, for United? Yeah. Abiola. Yeah.
Yes, my question, is it possible for a Ghana license holder class 2 to apply for class 1 in the UK? That is my question.
That's a Ghana class 2 engineer to apply for a UK class 1 engineer.
Yeah.
Engineer Lee allows to come.
Yes, I would give you a straightforward answer to that, but I could witness a chief engineer Nigerian ticket. Are you getting me?
Mm.
Yeah, a chief engineer, it's a Nigerian with a chief engineer ticket, but who has MSc in UK, was given the eligibility for his chief ticket. That is what I have witnessed. So the eligibility for him to sit for his chief engineer exam, that is what I can't really determine the rules for that consideration, because maybe he has his MSc in UK, that's why, or not. But I think with the right requirements, I've not gone through that route, neither have I seen anybody gone through that route, but I think it's possible. There is, we can find out. What I'll do is, one can write MCA in regards to that, and they think they can give us an answer which you can share.
Yeah, I think Will.
Can I say something here?
Yeah.
All right. I applied for class 2 unlimited with Ghana's class 3, 2014, and I was given the eligibility. However, I was not exempted from academic class. So I think this will also apply for the class 1. You have to do academics like you are doing class 2-1 academics. Then you now do the orals for class 1. That's what I think will apply, because that was what was written on the eligibility for my class 2.
So my experience, recent experience, in something like this, has class 2 from a neighbor of UK, one of the countries in the backyard, and wants to come and do class 1. They actually gave eligibility. Unfortunately or fortunately, the person actually sat for orals and passed the orals. And at the point of issuing, they realized that there was a mistake and they did not issue the COC. So what actually happened is that they expect the person to go and sit for SQA. SQA is what we write from the deck side for your class 2, like the chief mate. That the person has to go and sit that SQA first before they can issue the person a license. So it's similar to what you said. They might want you to sit for their class 2 written exams. Once you pass that, then they'll be able to give you the chief rate. So it's like last week we said that, in my opinion, I said once you get to class 2, it's easy to switch between class 3 and class 2. But wherever you are for class 2, it might just be more convenient, to just do your class 1 there. That is my opinion,
Yeah, but I agree as well, because I've seen cases where people come as well for class 1 and they still ask them to do the class 2. And I've seen a case 2015 where they even asked them to do class 3, but that was on the deck side as well. So I think that's going to apply here. Abiola, yes, you are encouraged to do so, but just know that you have to do much more exams than you require to do in Ghana as well.
So a few things I would say just before we round up is that I know different countries do prepare for your orals, guys. Get your C-service testimonial. In the UK, if your oral is really bad, it wasn't very impressive, you might be required to go back to get C-TAM before you come back. If you fail orals 3 times, you will be required to go back to C for 3 months or so before you can write the next one. If you fail one, you have to wait for, I think, 14 days before you can write the next one. So they have all these rules and regulations that are there to tick the boxes. So it's preparation. Now, I know we've said a lot. I know that we can't remember everything. The recording will be on our YouTube channel as well. And if you have any direct issues, this is it. Contact us. We will always know somebody that has done something like this before. And guys, everybody's busy. We will try to, accept. I want to also say, if you are chatting with us and we don't respond immediately, most of us don't chat. We see the message, we respond later. Okay, so don't get worried that I sent a message. And if you don't receive a message, just send a reminder, and all that. So people are quite doing other things as well. So let's.
I said last week from a question. We have this CLCs, you have foreign CLCs, you have Nigerian CLC. Don't limit yourself to just Nigerian companies, please. I know, yes, people will say, oh, this it's difficult to apply. Trust me, it's all over there. I go over LinkedIn, there are companies outside Nigeria that needs you. There are companies outside Nigeria that needs your potential, needs your certificate. So shoot it out to them. And don't say, oh, you sent one and one bounce back. No, keep shooting. I said it last week that recently someone just got Aramco contracts. There's someone else in this group here as well who is currently in Saudi Arabia, and all he just did was just shoot out his CV there. I also have another person right here in this group who just shoots a CV and is right there in Aberdeen. So it's not about just limiting ourselves to the shores of One and Nigeria. So please, let's be encouraged to also shoot outside as well.
But it's especially we the engineers. We should, after getting all this certificate, to whom much is given, much is expected. And we shouldn't relent on our CPDs, continuous professional development. As we are aspiring to be chiefs, legislation should be our paperwork, not how many spanners you can hold now. Because some of us as chief engineers are glorified second engineers. We don't want to live up to that expectation. So once we get this certificate that we crave, let's reading commence. That is when the reading continues. I know it's tough. That's like going through ISM again. You say, what is my business? But it is our business. So just to engineers, I just want them to, you've gotten the certificate, you are at the peak of where you want to. That's when the journey starts. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so the same one applies to DECO. Wherever you are, just keep shooting. I keep telling everyone, even if you have your class 3, shoot for class 2. You have your class 2, shoot for class 1. You have your class 1, keep shooting. I don't know where you want to shoot to. We have a captain in the house like last week with PhD. We have somebody in the house with LLM. We have another person with MBA. So just keep shooting. And seriously, it's really the world needs more people like us to really take over big places. But with that, thanks everyone, and we'll see next week. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.